Alright, now we're going to start our tikka masala. I'm going to use a cast iron pot, and I'm going to light my fire on medium to medium high heat because I want to start heating up that cast iron to get it real hot. I'm going to add about a 1/4 cup of extra virgin olive oil, and that'll coat the bottom of the pan real nicely. And we're going to wait about a good 2 minutes to get the pan nice and hot, and then we're going to add our chicken. I did the chicken in diced. I just used some chicken breast, and I already had that diced and set aside. I used about 3 breasts as I am cooking for about 3 people. So we're going to let the cast iron get nice and hot, and then we'll add our chicken. Alright, I can hear the pan starting to sizzle, so we're going to go ahead and add our chicken. And what we're looking for is we want the pan to basically talk to us. That's how you know your pan is hot enough. And what you're going to do is you're browning your chicken. When you brown your chicken, you basically lock in all the juices from the inside. I'll let that sit for a second. Alright, and I am a big believer in seasoning everything. I don't wait till the end or to season my food. I season it throughout as I cook it, so that way I can adjust on how salty or how much pepper I want to put in. So when you do cook off meat, you always want to put some salt in it automatically. So I'm going to sprinkle some salt in there and some nice fresh black pepper. And I'm using a wooden spoon on the cast iron. I like cooking with wooden spoons. You don't have to worry about, plastic. You don't have to worry about if you're using metal that it's scraping the bottom of your pan. So we're just gonna kind of let that cook and brown off. And when it's done, we're gonna take it out and set it aside. All right. So we got the chicken out and set aside. And we're still leaving the pan as is because it has all the flavors on it that we're looking for. So it has a little bit of the oil in there still. It has the chicken juices. It has the salt and pepper that we put in. So now what we're going to add is we're going to add a half of a large onion. And that's going to be diced up. And then we're adding approximately 4 cloves of garlic, fresh garlic, diced up as well. Let me get all that out of there. And we're going to cook this until the onions become translucent. So when they start becoming a little bit more clearer looking, it takes about maybe 3 to 4 minutes. And you kind of want to constantly watch and stir this mixture to ensure that it doesn't brown. Because if you do burn your garlic, you basically will taste burnt garlic throughout the whole dish. If you ever do burn your garlic, you're better off just stopping what you're doing, rinsing out your pan, and chopping up some more garlic because, you put all the effort into making your tikka masala. The last thing you want to do is, have a finished product that you're not happy with because it messed up in the beginning. So we're going to go ahead and let that cook down. And this is just about cooked down. It has about another minute or so to go. What I'm going to add now is I'm going to add about a teaspoon of ground ginger. I don't always have ground ginger on hand. I find when I buy the fresh ginger, I use a little bit of it and it gets, soft in the fridge. So what I started buying was ground ginger in the tube. And I found that works and keeps a lot better in the fridge. So squirt about a teaspoon in there, maybe about a teaspoon and a half, and mix that in with your mixture. And the smells on this are great. Garlic, onion, and ginger. So let that cook down for about another minute. Alright, now what we're going to add is we're going to add 1 can of tomato sauce. 1 small can, and this is 8 ounces. Again, you want to make sure you keep this on medium heat. If you leave it alone, you can start to see it bubbling on the outside, and that's fine. But you just don't want to go any higher heat than that, because you will start to burn your tomato sauce as well. So we'll let that cook. I'll leave that on medium for about 2 to 3 minutes, and we're going to basically cook the acidity out of the tomato sauce. Alright, while our tomato sauce is cooking, if you didn't have tomato sauce, you could also use a can of tomato paste. Either one works. It's just really a substitution for each other. What I'm going to add now is I'm going to add the Tikka Masala spices. I'm going to add half for now, so that way I can kind of control how much is. I'm using a packet that has Tikka Masala, so it has the garam masala, it has a little bit of turmeric in there, cardamom. These are spices that I usually don't keep on hand in jars, so it's better to buy the Tikka Masala mix, so that way it's already in there for you. It also has a little bit of cumin and paprika, so I'm going to go ahead and add half of the mixture. And then save the other half when I add my rest of my ingredients. And these ingredients are, basically what makes the Tikka Masala flavor that it is. It has a lot of the main Indian spices that are used in a lot of curry dishes, as well as other dishes like this Tikka Masala. So we'll add that, let that sit for a second. Alright, that's starting to look good. So now what I'm going to add is I'm going to add one large can, which is 28 ounces of crushed tomatoes. We're going to mix that in. Once this is mixed in, we're going to let this kind of simmer on, I would say medium-low, and cook this for about 30 minutes. And when it's done, we'll add in the chicken and cook it for another 30 minutes. Alright, so it's been cooking for about a half hour. We're going to add our chicken back in. And I want to splash everything, so add our chicken back in, and then we're going to add in a few more spices. Alright, so Tikka Masala is supposed to be a little bit on the spicy side. So it all depends on how much spice you like, but what we're going to do is we're going to add about a half a teaspoon of cayenne pepper. So we're going to mix all that in. Smells good. Okay. We are going to put in some more salt and pepper. Alright. And next what I'm going to add in is I cut up some mushrooms. These are regular domestic button mushrooms that I cut in 4s. I kept the caps on them. A few different reasons why I like putting mushrooms, and mushrooms generally do not go in Tikka Masala, but I like to put them in there. For one, it adds another vegetable that I can kind of sneak in. When it absorbs the sauce, the mushrooms are so hearty that it almost tricks you and thinks that, it's chicken. And then also, if you find out that you have another dinner guest that's coming that was unexpected, this also helps to your yield as well. We like mushrooms in this house. They are hearty, and it's a better source of protein, so that way you don't overeat on too much meat and chicken. So we're gonna just let this simmer. I might add, it's looking a little thick to me. We still have to add our lemon juice and our yogurt and our cream, but it's still looking a little thick to me, so I'm probably going to add in a half cup of water and see how that consistency is. So let's see, half cup of water. Yeah, and I only needed a quarter cup. So that's a good, it's more saucy, it's not as thick. And then when the mushrooms cook down and the chicken cook down, they'll also release additional juices on their own. So that'll help the sauce. So we're going to let this simmer for about 20 minutes on medium, probably low to low medium heat. Alright, so we've got about another 20 minutes on this. So you always want to taste your food as you cook it, so that way you can decide the seasoning that you like, if you want more of something or less of something. The consistency of this is still pretty thick. I would rather it kind of slide off the spoon like a soup rather than be like a little chunkier. But we're still going to add in our half and half in our Greek yogurt. So just for now, I just want to taste to see how much more of that masala I should add in. Okay, so the first thing I noticed off the bat is the heat. That cayenne really is strong. But again, putting the half and half and the cream with that, with the Greek yogurt, that is going to take down some of that heat. I feel I definitely do still need more garam masala. So I am going to go ahead and add in the rest of that packet. Alright, so what I'm going to do now is I'm going to add in my about 1 to 1.5 teaspoon of lemon juice. Give that a stir. And then what I did was I mixed 2 tablespoons of Greek yogurt, plain, with about a quarter cup of half and half. And we're mixing that together, and we're going to add that to our mixture. And these are basically the final touches for the tikka masala. Turn that heat down. Scrape down the sides, get all that good stuff. Okay, so remember, taste everything again. It's good. I think I'm going to add a little bit more yogurt to kind of give it that little bit more of a richer, creamier. But the spices are there. The heat from the cayenne definitely settled down a lot. It's still prevalent there, but it's not burning my mouth. It's got a nice, distinct heat. Alright, last but not least, we're going to throw in about 2 to 3 teaspoons of cilantro. We're going to serve this over a bed of jasmine rice, or you could use basmati rice. And next, we're just about ready to start cooking our naan bread. So I'm just going to leave this on the lowest temperature it can stay, so that way it stays nice and warm, but it doesn't continue to cook. And then we'll start our naan bread.